This was after she dumped him for his toxic and abusive behavior towards her, but Amir was not ready to let go. Instead, he was determined to take her life rather than let another man have her.
Wow.
And that was exactly what he did. He stalked her and executed her in the street while her neighbors recorded her terrifying final moments on live stream.
Get away from me!
You ain't gonna do nothing but get yourself in trouble, bro.
I have a restraining order on you.
Call the police.
That's why she recorded.
Are you chasing her?
Hey! Get the off her! Hey! Leave her alone!
Oh.
My God!
That was the horrific moment Shakaya Allen was ambushed
That's
and brutally
crazy.
murdered in broad daylight by her ex-boyfriend, Amir Johnson. This was after she dumped him for his toxic and abusive behavior towards her, but Amir was not ready to let go. Instead, he was determined to take her life rather than let another man have her.
Wow.
And that was exactly what he did. He stalked her and executed her in the street while her neighbors recorded her terrifying final moments on live stream. Shakaya Allen, affectionately known as Shaya by those close to her, was a vibrant 27-year-old Maryland woman with a contagious zest for life.
She was a good girl, very fun, always smiling, always had jokes. She would send me stuff on TikTok about when people talk about they don't have their fathers in their life. And she'd be like, well, I can't speak for none of y'all, 'cause my father always been in my life.
As a devoted mother, her world revolved around her young daughter, Storm, who was the absolute center of her universe. To Shakaya, motherhood wasn't just a role. It was her greatest joy and purpose. She and her daughter were inseparable, sharing moments of laughter, adventure, and love that defined her life. Beyond her life as a mom, Shakaya was a social media enthusiast who often used platforms like TikTok to express herself and connect with her many followers from around the world. Her followers adored her for her candid personality and unique perspective. She wasn't afraid to speak her mind, whether she was analyzing the latest trends, giving her take on popular culture, or just sharing snippets of her life.
I don't care what nobody say. Nicki Minaj is doing crack. I don't care. It has been proven. Something is wrong with that lady. Like mentally, something is wrong with that lady. And y'all keep supporting her. Be honest with her. I'm an Aries. Of course, I don't know why I have an attitude. I'm an Aries. Of course you think I'm funny when I'm being dead ass serious. I'm an Aries. Of course, standing on business is easy, baby. I got a short attention span.
Her honesty and humor shone through in every post, painting a picture of someone who was unapologetically herself. Shakaya also had a deep love for adventure, whether it was exploring new places, trying out thrilling activities, or simply soaking in life's simple pleasures. She lived fully and fearlessly. Her friends often described her as the type of person who could turn an ordinary day into an extraordinary memory. She believed in making every moment count, often reminding those around her to live your life and open your eyes. At the time of her death, Shakaya worked at an Amazon warehouse in Baltimore, where she was known for her hardworking and cheerful demeanor. Her colleagues admired her ability to stay positive even in challenging circumstances, and her work ethic left a lasting impression. However, what made Shakaya truly special wasn't just her outward charisma, it was her resilience. She had an undeniable strength, one that shone through even during difficult times. It was this inner strength that led her to make a courageous decision that would change the course of her life, leaving an abusive relationship to protect herself and her child. At first glance, Shakaya Allen and Amir Johnson seemed like the perfect couple. They met while working at the Amazon warehouse in Baltimore, where their relationship blossomed. They shared moments of laughter, attended family events together, and even traveled, creating memories that cemented their bond.
She's smashing that food.
Damn, little lady. You sure can't put it away.
Amir appeared to be a doting partner, playing with Shakaya's daughter and blending into her life seamlessly. To outsiders, their relationship seemed stable and happy, but behind closed doors, a much darker reality began to emerge. Amir Johnson wasn't really the man he appeared to be. While their relationship may have started with love and shared dreams, it soon turned into a nightmare for Shakaya. Amir became overly controlling, possessive, and increasingly abusive. The abuse wasn't just emotional, it was also physical. Neighbors often heard heated arguments and loud confrontations from their homes. Police were frequently called to their residence to intervene in some of those incidents, painting a grim picture of a relationship spiraling into chaos. Shakaya found herself trapped in a toxic environment, enduring Amir's violent outbursts that left her physically and emotionally drained. Court records showed multiple domestic disturbances between Shakia and Amir, with police frequently called to intervene. One of the most alarming incidents occurred in February 2024, when Amir physically assaulted Shakia as she tried to move out of their shared home. He was arrested the next day, and a gun was confiscated from his waistband. After this incident, Shakia made the courageous decision to leave Amir.
My sister got to a point in life where she really just wanted to focus on herself and her daughter, and just growing.
It wasn't easy. As anyone who has escaped an abusive relationship knows, leaving is often the most dangerous time. But Shakaya took that step, prioritizing her safety and that of her daughter above all else. She started by filing a restraining order against Amir in a bid to create distance and enforce boundaries between them. However, Amir refused to let go. He couldn't accept that Shakaya no longer wanted to be with him. In his mind, she wasn't just leaving a relationship, she was rejecting him entirely, and his fragile ego couldn't bear it. In the weeks before her murder, Shakaya had been attending court to address Amir's violence. A hearing for a protective order involving both of them was scheduled, but it was dismissed when neither party appeared in court. Shakaya's absence was likely due to fear or exhaustion from the constant legal battles she had been fighting. Whatever the reason, the dismissal meant that Amir faced no immediate consequences for his actions, and that gave him the opportunity to strike again. Sadly, this time Shakaya will not be as lucky.
Crazy.
Shakaya Allen was trying to move on with her life after she had broken up with Amir. She had made the brave decision to leave the abusive relationship and was focused on building a safer, happier future for herself and her young daughter. But Amir Johnson, her now ex-boyfriend, couldn't handle the rejection. He had been stalking her and doing everything possible to get back in her life. Despite the restraining order and her repeated attempts to distance herself, Amir's obsession only grew stronger. Sadly, on April 21st, 2024, his obsession took a deadly turn. That afternoon, Shakaya was at an apartment complex in Nottingham, Maryland. She likely thought she was safe, surrounded by her neighbors and the everyday normalcy of a Sunday afternoon. But Amir had been watching her, tracking her every movement, and waiting for the perfect moment to confront her. He found that opportunity when he ambushed her at the apartment parking lot. Armed with a gun and an uncontrollable rage, Amir chased her around the parking lot while Shakaya begged him to leave her alone, even reminding him that she still had a protective order against him.
Get away from me!
You ain't gonna do nothing but get yourself in trouble, bro.
I have a restraining order on you!
Call the police!
But Amir wasn't listening. His mind was clouded with anger and a need to take revenge on her for breaking up with him. He couldn't accept that Shakaya had moved on, and he certainly couldn't bear the idea of her living a life without him.
When you take a gun to talk to someone, it's never a good idea. And it's too late with that, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't this, I didn't that. What did you have it for just to talk?
Right.
Some neighbors recorded the disturbing clip. They probably hoped that seeing their camera would make Amir stop or hold Amir
his mom
accountable
was
later
made up.
if things eventually went south. Their voices can be heard in the recordings, urging him to stop, warning him not to hurt her, but Amir ignored them all. In those moments, it became clear he wasn't there to talk or resolve anything. He was there to end it all. Then, it happened. Amir raised his gun and fired 5 times.
That's why she recorded.
Hey! Get the fuck off her, you asshole! Hey! Leave her alone!
Wow.
Shakaya collapsed to the ground, her life slipping
Crazy,
away as
bro.
witnesses screamed in horror. Amir, however, didn't panic. Witnesses said he calmly walked away from the scene with his gun in hand as if nothing had just happened. His lack of remorse was chilling. When the police arrived, Shakaya was already gone. The vibrant,
crazy,
loving
bro.
mother who had so much to live for was now another victim of domestic violence. Her death left her family shattered, her daughter motherless, and her community reeling from the senseless act of violence they had just witnessed. Meanwhile, Amir was nowhere to be found. He had fled the scene right after committing the murder, leaving everyone to wonder where he might strike next. The manhunt for him began immediately, but for Shakea's loved ones, no amount of justice could ever fill the void he had created. Shakea Allen's family has been left heartbroken and frustrated since her tragic death. They are not only grieving the loss of their beloved daughter, sister, and mother, but they are also fighting to ensure that the man responsible for her murder, Amir Johnson, is brought to justice.
So he's
If
still not caught?
anybody see him, just call the police.
In an emotional interview with True Crime News, Shakea's family spoke out, pleading with the public for help in finding
Wow.
Amir. He has been on the run since the day of the murder, and despite clear video evidence of his crime, he remains at large.
That's
Her
crazy.
sister, Shanae Scott, described Amir's betrayal in heart-wrenching detail.
You knew us, you smiled with us, you've laughed with us. So how could you find it in your heart to chase her down and just shoot her in broad daylight?
Shakea's father, Nakia Scott, once welcomed Amir into their family, treating him with kindness and respect. At first, they said Amir seemed like a decent young man who cared for Shakea. He was polite and respectful and displayed no immediate red flags.
The first impression I got of him, he was a cool little kid, you know.
He talked to my sister respectfully, but there was no red flags, no alarms or anything.
However, as time went on, the family began to notice troubling changes in his behavior. Amir grew possessive and controlling, and his jealousy started to take over. Nakia shared how Amir began stalking Shakea when she tried to leave him.
Had the tracker on her phone, put a tracker on her car. And one time, she was out with some coworkers, guys and girls. He popped up. Oh, I just didn't know where she's at. I say, she gotta tell you where she's at.
Despite these warning signs,
that was red
Shakea
flag,
didn't share
like.
all the details with her family. Her sister believes Shakea didn't want to worry her or make her feel scared.
I didn't know that it was ever that bad. Like, she would tell me a little bit of their arguments, but she would never tell me anything that was too dark. I just think for me being her little sister, I think there were certain things that she didn't want me to know.
But the situation grew worse with each passing day.
That's sad.
Shakea's father recalled confronting Amir after a heated argument between the two.
And I find all of this out through him. He said, Pops, I ain't gonna lie, things got heated, but I didn't put my hands on your daughter, so let me put that out there now. It was just a heated argument, and she called the police.
The family also revealed Amir's chilling actions after the murder. Shortly after killing Shakea, he sent a twisted text message to her father saying, "It was nice knowing you, Jack."
It was just a horrible letdown. You
Wow.
know, then to text me after you done killed my daughter, like, it was nice knowing you,
That's
Jack.
crazy.
I'm like, the hell is he talking about? And I was like, I text back like, I'm gonna hit you a little later.
Now Shakea's family has focused on caring for her 3-year-old daughter, Storm. The little girl, who was the center of Shakea's world, now faces life without her mother.
Storm is 3. When she was at the funeral, he and her say, I don't have a mommy no more.
Wow.
And of course, that made me cry.
Meanwhile, the search for Amir continues. Detectives believe he may be hiding in New York City, his hometown, but tracking him has proven difficult. The family is urging anyone with information about Amir's whereabouts to contact the police.
It's hard to
This dude
even
is
try
still
to
on the
heal,
run.
to try to move on when he's still free. Justice has not been served yet, and I feel like the first step to try to process your grief is just having some sort of justice there.
Adding to their frustration is the low reward being offered for Amir's capture. At just $2,000, the family believes it's not enough to motivate someone to come forward. Despite the pain and setbacks, the family refuses to give up. They want the world to know Shakea's story, not just the tragedy, but the life she lived and the love she gave.
When I'm going through something, she was one that I could call and I could talk to her about anything. She's like, Dad, it's going to be all right. You're going to be okay, Dad. You know, if you need something or you need some support, you know I got you, Dad. I got you. And it's like now she's not here. And I just miss her. Yeah, I just miss my girl.
They hope that by keeping her name in the spotlight, they can prevent others from falling victim to similar violence. Shakea's father has this one last message for Amir.
You're going to have to see me, and you know I'm going to deal with you. So you might as well just turn yourself in it. This way we both can start our process.
If you have any information about Amir Johnson's whereabouts, you're urged to contact the Baltimore County Police Department.
RP to her. That's unfortunate. That's very sad. You know, I'm shocked to hear that he's still on a run. I didn't think that was going to be the end of that. I didn't think he would still be at large right now. That's kind of shocking, just, you know, considering the fact that it was in broad daylight. He's on camera, you know, walked off on foot. I don't know, man. It's with the technology we got today and the CCTV and stuff like that, and he's still at large after doing something like that, and, you know, and the family wanting justice, and it's horrible, you know. And I'm looking at the people around. You know, I always say, like, you know, one thing I will say is, like, I fault the people that is standing there recording. I get it. You know, she's talking about, you know, maybe if he's seen the cameras or something like that, he may stop. But, you know, how about calling 911 first? You know what I mean? Getting, you know, emergency personnel there. All the time being wasted, you know, with the cameras being out. I always talk about that. You know, make the call first and then get your footage, or not, you know, just make the call. But I don't think none of them was even in position to really help and do anything. You got to understand, if you don't have a firearm yourself, trying to face a guy in rage with a firearm is not really a good idea. The best thing you can do is yell, or, you know, unless you want to take that chance, because I can guarantee you 9 times out of 10, you try to run up on him, he gonna let one off. So that's just the reality. So it's not too much anybody can do if you're not around, you know, armed yourself in situations like that. And you do have the right to protect that young lady, at least here in you know, in my state. You know, I don't know how, you know, certain other states go on, but you should be able to protect somebody in a situation like that, even if you're an innocent bystander or someone that is unknown to her. That will be okay. Unfortunate situation. I feel for the family. I feel for the daughter. I mean, that touched me, man. I mean, I talk about these guys all the time, and cowards, man, goofy cowards, man. I mean, just senseless. Like, I never understood how you can get to that point where you want to end her life or your life over, you know, something like that. Like, I get it, man. Love is real, but I love myself, man. You got to love yourself first. You know what I mean? We get past things like this. You meet so many people out here in the world to meet, and for one person to be, you know, stuck on somebody to the point you can't let them live without you. This is crazy. That's crazy, man. RP to her. Again, they say at large, hopefully he's caught really soon. If anybody, you know, hear or see anything like they say, man, give a shout out, man. You know, call it in. Do what you can do to help this young lady and her family. And yeah, man, I'm checking out. Peace.
Yeah. Whoa.